Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I thought we could look at a little lesser known 1981 horror film called Wolfen. I hope you enjoy it and let's dig in. We start as Christopher and Pauline Vanderveer are enjoying a nice night in Battery Park alongside their dog and bodyguard. They aren't alone, however, as something is watching them. Their dog seems to know that something isn't quite right. Just then the bodyguard is attacked by something from the shadows. Christopher and Pauline are next up on the Beast's menu. Former Detective Dewey Wilson is being brought back on the force, assigned with investigating this bizarre crime. The Vanderveers were extremely wealthy and high profile. One of the mayor's men believes it to be a terrorist attack. Dewey meets with Coroner Whittington, who shows him the body of Christopher. Whatever attacked was quick and powerful, nearly taking Pauline's head clean off. Dewey meets with Carl Winslow, who is now a morgue attendant. Dewey somehow has an appetite while watching bodies being attended to. Whittington goes over the x-rays and says it couldn't have been done with a metal weapon, but he doesn't have any idea what could have been used. We meet criminal psychologist Rebecca Neff. She's being assigned to work alongside Dewey in the investigation. Meanwhile, in the South Bronx, a homeless man is wandering an old abandoned building, but he isn't alone. The Beast attacks the man, dragging him into the rubble. More and more buildings are demolished as something watches nearby. Dewey and Rebecca are at Vanderveer Towers when they get a call about the victim in the Bronx. Hair was pulled off the victim, matching hair that was also pulled off the Vanderveers. Whatever it is, it doesn't appear to be human. Dewey and Rebecca arrive at the site to investigate the area, but something is watching them. They arrive at an old church and Rebecca thinks she hears a baby crying. Rebecca starts walking up the bell tower as she still hears the baby, but Dewey hears a wolf howl. He runs to her, pulling her out to safety. That night, the Beast is on the prowl. It kills a man working on the bridge, throwing him over. The following day, Dewey and Rebecca meet with a zoologist named Ferguson. He identifies the hair belonging to an unknown species of Canis lupus, or a wolf. Ferguson says these murders couldn't have been done by a wolf as they don't attack people. He, for some reason, compares them to native Indians, so Dewey decides to find a militant native activist named Eddie Holt. He finds Eddie atop the Manhattan Bridge, and the man claims he's a shapeshifter, taking the form of various animals, including a wolf. Dewey asks if he would ever kill anyone, and Eddie says that's what they pay you to find out. That night, Ferguson is riding a motorbike through Central Park. He comes to a tunnel and stops as he hears howling. The howling gets closer and he gets scared and rides off, but before he can get too far, he's attacked. The next morning, Dewey and Whittington are at Ferguson's office. Whittington says Ferguson hasn't been seen all night as he never made it home. He also discovered more of that hair on a victim's liver. Dewey and Whittington decide to stake out the old church and surrounding abandoned buildings, as this appears to be where many of the attacks seem to be emanating from. The men split up, watching different sides of the church. Armed with sniper rifles and night vision scopes, they keep watch, looking for anything out of the ordinary. Dewey believes he sees something, so he leaves his post, Whittington watching his back. Dewey heads inside the church, going back up to the bell tower. He makes it to the top, but doesn't seem to find anything. Meanwhile, something is above, watching Whittington. A wolf drops down from the ceiling. It growls, lunging at him and putting him through a wall. Dewey hears the attack and rushes to his aid. He makes it inside the building and fires his weapon. Dewey searches the building when suddenly Whittington's mauled body falls down on him. The wolf watches him from above. A clearly traumatized Dewey enters the Wigwam Bar, a bar run and frequented by natives. There he finds Eddie and some of his friends. Eddie tells him it's not wolves, it's wolfen. They are wolf spirits and cannot be killed. They kill to protect their hunting ground. Eddie looks at him and says, "You don't have the eyes of the hunter, you have the eyes of the dead." Dewey is at Vanderveer Towers and realizes they were killed because their real estate project would take over the Wolfen's hunting grounds. Dewey is suddenly startled and Rebecca and the chief find him saying they found his wolf, some terrorist organization whose motto is the end of the world by wolves. War these and they're going to try and match the hairs with the victims to try and get a confession. They leave the building, but Dewey feels like something isn't quite right. Suddenly wolves appear surrounding them. The chief runs and pulls out his gun, but a wolf attacks, tearing his hand off. He gets inside his car, but another wolf is waiting. He gets out and is decapitated by another one. Dewey shoots the car, causing it to explode. Dewey and Rebecca run, shooting their way inside the Vanderveer Towers. They make it to the office as sirens blare outside. Rebecca looks at the window and a wolf is just outside. It comes bursting through the glass. They're surrounded by wolves now. Dewey has his gun pointed ready to fire. Dewey empties the cylinder on the gun and places it on the floor. He stands unarmed and starts destroying the real estate models. The wolves howl and simply disappear. Police arrive asking what happened, and Dewey says it was terrorists. The Wolfen return to the old church, their hunting ground, as Eddie and the other natives watch over the city from atop a bridge. I hope you enjoyed our look at this very underrated film. If you did, please think about becoming a subscriber, as it would mean a lot to me. Thank you all for watching, and have a great day.